marketing via command, and more specifically the Facebook platform. So if at any time you have a question, just let me know. So, oops. So we'll start here in command. So what we want to do is we want to go into our campaigns tab, which is right here, like the little microphone. And when you open that, right away, you're going to kind of see a dashboard that gives you an overview of any campaigns that you have that are active or that have finished. And you can kind of sort them. So my computer's being a little bit slow, of course, right now. There you go. So right now, you can see the dashboard of any campaign that you have. You can see what status it is here. If it's completed, if it's in draft, if it was active, it would be in green. So you can actually sort it that way too, just see everything that's passed. Normally it would go a little bit more quickly. So this is just basically your overview where you can see, how long it was, how many clicks, how many leads you got, what your spend was. If you want the overview, you just click on it here. Actually, sorry, a preview on the picture. Of course, when I'm giving a training, that's when the computer's not going to work properly. Okay.
Always the way.
Always the way, exactly. Okay, well, so I think you guys can get the idea for now. This is just your dashboard that gives you an overview. So if you wanted to create a campaign, you'd go to the top right up here, click Create a New Campaign. So right now, what we're going to be doing in this session is social ads, paid. So it could be Facebook and or Instagram. So the first thing right now you would do is campaign. You enter your name. I normally would say, let's say it's a listing. 123 Apple Street. So that you can always, know in your dashboard quickly what your campaign was. Then, so in this case, you have different goals that Facebook provides you. Advertise, the ones that I would say the most that you would be using likely, or certainly that I use, is either to advertise a listing. So that's, you have a listing that's online, you want to try and get buyers to look at it. Or if you want to attract listings, so you might have a campaign that's really geared towards sellers. Hey, the market's really hot, let's, list with me kind of thing. Attract buyers. So that's, you have, you want to say something to buyers, mortgage rates are low right now, now's the time to buy. Or you can have brand awareness, which is really just promoting yourself, your team, just to have people, see your name out there. So right now, there's other ones too I haven't really used. Well, event awareness, let's say you have an open house, you can use that. Attract talent, I haven't really used yet. So let's say in this case, we're going to do a new listing. So our goal here is to advertise a listing. So you click on that. And then you can choose where you want your campaigns to run. So I don't have a Twitter. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I was talking to my dog.
No problem. So here, I don't have a Twitter page, but I would either be using Facebook and or Instagram. So in this case, let's click on both Facebook and Instagram. So it'll run on both platforms. So now it's going to take us to a new window. Okay, so right now it's asking if you want to search by listing. I haven't, to be honest, had success. I haven't been able to find my listings from here, but that's okay because what we're going to do is we're going to be using ads that we created either in Designs or in Canva. So we don't really need to have them draw anything. As long as you have, a website, whether it's your KW page on the KW website, or if you have your own personal website that you can send people towards, or even just towards your Facebook page.
How did you just change pages? I just saw it said get from your listings or add, and then all of a sudden this page popped up. What did you do?
I believe, so right before, here, let me go back. There was just, when I did the new campaign.
No. Where
after that?
After this.
Okay. Let me just recreate it and then I'll see.
At the top, it said, put in the address or search the address, and then all of a sudden this page popped up. I just
Okay.
wondered what you hit there.
Yeah, so what I did is I just clicked the X at the top of the page here.
Oh, you just got out of it. You didn't go direct yourself anywhere. Okay.
No. All right, yeah, I just closed this here, this little prompt. I haven't used that.
If you could say where your arrow's going, right, left, because sometimes it moves really fast and
Oh,
can't
sorry.
see
Yeah,
where you're going.
absolutely. Okay,
Might be easier.
excellent. So right now, the name and goal up here at the top, that was the first page that we had. And when I recreated, I can see I put a little typo, so you can fix that if you want. So that was the page that when you created the ad, it automatically goes to, but you can still see it in this platform here if you wanted to make a change. And then everything else is in a drop-down menu sequentially here. So the listing, add a listing, that was the button that automatically prompts you when you come into here to advertise a listing. Like I said, that I would exit. We don't use this one here. What we'll do is we're going to add everything manually. So here we will go to add text. So we're going to go to configure. And you'll see on the right-hand side, you always have your preview. So as you're entering your text, as you're adding an image, you'll always see this preview here being updated in real time to give you an idea what your ad's going to look like. So for the ad text here, so you have the main copy. So you have up to 125, you have up to 250 characters. They recommend up to 125. You don't have time to write a whole novel. You just want to kind of give the main attributes to really try to grab people's interest. So maybe just give a few, highlights about the property. So just to show you on the preview. So as you see, as I'm typing over here, it's populating. So you can see what it's going to look like. So this is where you'd write your main copy. And then at the bottom here, you have a headline. So this is really short. You have, it says you have 100 characters, but as it mentions, over 40 characters may be cut off in some placements. So you want to really keep it short and sweet. I tend to either put like the property address or something like that. As you can see here, this is where your copy would be. This is where your headline is. Underneath, you have room for description. That's not shown in every placement, so I wouldn't put the most important information, just something like, contact me to, to find out more, something that, might not be everywhere. So let's see what that looks like here. So right now already you can kind of see on the side what it's going to look like with your main copy, your headline, your description. So when you're happy with that, you can save add text. Now you see here at the bottom it says enter CTA link. That's click to action. That is going to be later on. You'll be able to see when you put your link to your website, it'll actually show up there. So when you've done your copy, your headline, your description, you can save the text. And next we're going to add media, which is either your image or your video here. So if you click on add media configure, one thing to note is that you see here DBA logo with an asterisk. Whatever image you use, note that this platform here is going to automatically upload the KW Select logo. If you have a team logo with the KW Select logo, you can change it to that too, but you have to have some sort of logo with the DBA name. So you can change the position left or right, but it's always going to be at the bottom. So that's something really important to note when you're creating your visual, whether it's in Designs or Canva, is that logo is going to be left or right at the bottom. So first we're going to select media up here. So you can either have an image or video. In this case, we're just going to choose an image. Now, when you select here, you can either select, so you go to add images here. You can choose from designs. So if you're someone that uses designs and you save it, a design that you've done for your listing, it will save into your command section, designs in command. So you could choose it from there. That would be doing this, browse design library. And you'll see anything that you have in designs that you've saved, you'll find here. So you can either do that, or here, let me choose.
If you didn't save them before, can you still choose from here?
No,
If
you have
you've
to save
never
it.
done one before, are they there and you can choose one?
Yeah, so these are all the ones that I've done in designs and saved. Sorry, did you say you want to like do one from designs and then?
If I've never done one before and I go to this page and
You
I
wouldn't see
want to
anything.
open the library, there's nothing there. Is that what you're saying?
No, exactly. You'd have to go into designs.
Okay.
Let me see. So you can either go in designs. I can show you very quickly, you know, how to edit a design in here, or you can also look. Ashton Palmer has done a training for social posts and Canva, and that's a really good one to see too how you can create different designs in Canva that you can use in these Facebook campaigns. So my designs doesn't seem to want to work.
So where did you find all those designs you just did? In Keller Williams library?
So these, I actually went into designs, and that's where you have all your templates. Oh, I think it just loaded. So this is KW Designs. They have everything sorted by what type of design you might want to do, and you can just edit it. And from there, when you edit it and you save it, it'll go into your library, which is called, in here it's called My Designs. So I think if you go, Erin, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that there's a tutorial available for design specifically.
Yeah, Renee's done a bunch on designs that are on the YouTube channel.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a really great tool. Canva and designs, they each have their strength and weakness, but I use them both. But what's really great here, everything is already branded in the KW kind of colors. It has that branding there already, so you can just play around with that. It's a bit in depth to look into right now, but I would suggest looking at that tutorial. And once you do, and you have some designs and you save them, that's when you'll find them in your library here. But let's say you haven't, you're not in design. So you can just upload an image from your computer. And that can be either just, you know, the hero shot that you got from your photographer. It could be something that you've done in Canva. So I didn't prepare a picture from here. Let's take a picture from when I met Rick Mercer a couple of years ago. So here, this is you uploading one from your computer. You can scale it here if it's more of a square, or in this case, this is more of a square. Sometimes if it's more of a rectangular image, bigger, you can use a scale here. When you're ready, you just preview and crop. Now, the thing is here, you can choose. So right now, if I was in a wide format, I'd have to kind of change the image to be more of a rectangle. Here they suggest that the square is the best for most placements, and then I get my whole picture in here anyhow, so that's excellent. And then you're going to see on the side here, this is what your ad's going to look like. So you're going to have your copy here. You're going to have your image with the DBA logo right here at the bottom right. I don't know if you can see that. If, let's say, you had text in that corner, then you can just go back over here, DBA logo position, put it to the left. So once you're happy with that, you can save. And then we go down to the Facebook and Instagram ad section right here. So that's your channel options. We chose Facebook and Instagram at the beginning of the setup. Let's say you realize, uh-oh, I don't want it to be on Instagram for some reason. You can go all the way back up to in campaign details, name and goal. Open it here, and and I'm wrong. When you set it up, that's when you choose your placement. So you have to make sure you know which one you want to be in. So we're back to our channel options, Facebook and Instagram ads. first, what's very important, what's very important is that you need to have a Facebook page to do this. So if you don't have one, just Google how to set up a Facebook page. It'll bring you to here. It doesn't take long, it takes maybe 5 minutes, but you have to have a business Facebook page in order to have ads. It can't just be your personal profile. So in this case, our page name is Robert Realty Team. And then you can choose your ad position. Do you want it to be an ad or a story? I usually go for ad. That's people are going to see it in their Instagram feed. If you wanted to, you can put it into your story instead. And then, so your destination. So when people click on your ad, where do you want to send them? You can either directly send them to either your website or landing page. And again, I think there's a tutorial that probably Renee has done about setting up landing pages if you don't have your own website. And otherwise, you can also use a Facebook lead generation form, which is if you want to get leads from Facebook, then you would have to click on that. So that means before they can get to the site that you're sending them to, they have to fill in just their name, email, and phone number. So it's great for getting leads, but some people might skip that step. So it depends on what the goal of your campaign is. Is it you just want to send people to your listing and hopefully have them call you to look at it? Or is it something where you're really trying to cultivate getting more sellers or buyers in your database? So once you've established that, then you select here, what's your call to action? So we see in the ad right here, this button, that's your call to action. So do you want them to learn more? Do you want them to sign up, apply now? Depending again on what your campaign is. In this case, since it's a new listing, well, we just want them to learn more about the listing. And this is where you would put your landing page. So where you're going to send them. So I would put we have our own personal website. If you have a listing that you want to advertise, I would say, if you have a listing that you want to advertise, try and use that specific page on your website, or again, the landing page that you've designed yourself. So here I would just put so this is our website here. Now, a lot of our properties have been put down to exclusive given the circumstances right now, so I don't even think I have a listing I can choose from, but we do. Let's pretend this is a listing here. So this is your listing for 123 Apple Tree. That's where you want to send them directly. So you would copy that and put that in here. So now we know where we're sending them. We know where they're going. Next is, who do you want to target? So targeting in here, it's not as precise as if you, I don't know if anybody's used the Facebook ad manager in Facebook. You can really go in depth with the targeting there. In this case, it's a little bit more limited, but in terms of area, so right now, if you know your property is in Bedford or in that area, you can choose that, and you can choose the radius as well. Unfortunately, you can't go below a certain amount, and that amount seems to be 25. So again, it's not, you can't be hyper local or hyper targeted in this, but I would just suggest choose. Pardon? Oh, any questions? No. So yeah, I would just suggest looking, choose the hub of where your listing is or where you want to target, and know that there's going to be a little bit of a radius around there. If you, you could add interests as well, depending, for example, if you had a post that was targeting first-time home buyers, then you can go click into these interests, and some are going to load so you can have an idea of what it is, or you can search So we click this open, it's going to give us some of the ideas. So let's say first time buyer. So if you have a campaign you know is targeting them, you can add that as an extra layer of targeting to know that you're going to hopefully reach people that might be interested in that. And then next, so that's our targeting information.
Nicole, can I just jump in for 1 second?
Absolutely.
Just back to the location, just another thing to think about is maybe it's a property that like people who are from Nova Scotia but are currently working in Alberta might be interested in. So you might want to advertise in like Fort McMurray or Calgary or something.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
just keep that in mind. It doesn't necessarily have to be targeted where the listing is.
That's true. Yeah, like in our case, we have a lot of buyers that are coming from Ontario. So we've done campaigns specifically just targeting Ontario to see for people that might want to move back here. So yeah, absolutely. So once we're done with that area here, then we'd go down to the last part, the duration and the budget. So Facebook here, as I say, they recommend 10 days minimum and a budget of 1 day per channel. So if you're on Facebook and Instagram, then that would be $20 for 10 days. But really, you can do whatever you prefer. I mean, I've done campaigns for 10 days. I've done some for 4 days. And the performance has varied depending. So I'd say just go with what you're comfortable doing. So let me see here. So it's always going to start the next day. So today is the 6th. It'll always start the next day because it has to go into review. So if you wanted to change the day, so it by default sets 10 days. You can change it here. So let's say, you know, I only want to run it from Tuesday to Friday. I don't want to go past that. Then for the budget, you'll see here, once you change your dates, and you can put in your budget and you'll see how much you have per day per channel. So this, I don't want to spend $30. Let's say I'm going to spend $10. Then it's going to show you, okay, well, that's spending $1.67 per day per channel, Facebook and Instagram. And then you have the choice to either distribute evenly across the two channels. So to say, okay, that $1.67 per day on Facebook, another $1.67 on Instagram, or you can uncheck that and they'll just go based on which one is, oops, sorry, you can customize how many you want on each. So I want, in this case, favor Instagram. I want to spend, you know, $2 on Instagram and only 67 cents on Facebook. So you can kind of play around with that. It doesn't have to be even if you want to give favor one more than the other. And once you're happy with that, you can save. And see, you're going to get a note. If at some point you've done something like it won't let you proceed, it'll always show you in red what's missing or what has to be fixed before you can publish. So they're saying here you have to have at least $1 per channel. So there you go. And you'll see at the top left right now, that publish campaign is kind of grayed out and it says, please complete the fields. If you're missing anything, if you can't click on publish campaign, that means you're missing something. Go back to each step and see what it is. In this case, it would be the minimum. So as soon as I click that, now my publish campaign is available again. Now, before you click publish campaign, a couple of important notes. Once your campaign's published, the only things you can edit are the campaign name and the location targeting. So if you wanted to edit your text, you want to change the image, anything like that, the budget even, you can't change that. Another thing to note is that you're charged the whole amount upfront. So I would recommend usually starting with smaller campaigns and smaller budgets to see how they work, because you can't pause and get your money back right away. But if you do want to stop it for some reason, you know, it's not working, or, you know, your listing sold and you don't want to promote it anymore, you can still just pause the campaign. That way it'll stop running, but you'll receive a credit once your campaign, the scheduled date has passed. So if you set a campaign for a month and you need to pause it in the 3rd day, we have to wait till that month is over to see your credit back. And so I'm not going to click publish campaign right now because this is a test and I don't want anybody to see this on Facebook. But I can show you, let's see here. So yes, I'm going to exit, but normally you would click on publish campaign and then you would see it here in your dashboard.
Just one thing to note too, Nicole, you can correct me if I'm wrong because you use this way more than me, but it's American dollars. So when you're charged, it will be slightly more.
You know, I haven't noticed that, but I take your word on that.
Okay, I think unless they've changed it, it was originally in American dollars. So you do get charged more than what you say, unless it's changed.
That's a good question. I'll try and take a note on that. I haven't actually noticed on the statement if there is a difference,
Okay.
but I'll
If you
go
can
check.
let me know for sure, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if we had press publish campaign, you would see here and your status would be pending. And that just means you're waiting for Facebook to review it. And then you'll see, usually the next day, it'll turn to active and you'll be able to see how it's doing. So in your dashboard, you'll be able to see, okay, how many impressions. So in this ad here, it reached 1,180, well, there were 1,181 impressions. I don't know, doesn't mean it reached that amount of people. Some people could have been reached, 3 or 4 times. It had 46 clicks, no leads. So that means, that's great. 46 people actually clicked to go to your website, but none of them signed up for that form. It could be because they clicked, when you have, like in this case here, they didn't click on the website actually because they would have had to go through the lead gen form to get there. But if you have a really long text, like in this case, we weren't necessarily sending them to the website. All of the information was in a really big long text. So that just means they probably clicked the read more button. So there's different reasons somebody would click an ad. It's not always to go to the website. It could be to click to see the photo bigger, click to see, read more extra text. But this is where you're going to see your stats in an overview. And just touching back on those credits that I was saying before. So if you do have a campaign, this is why I have some that are in draft, because I realized, oh no, I don't want to spend that much. So you go into the top right, payments, and that's where you're going to see how much you've spent on any channel, but it's also going to show you right over here if you have any credits left. So if you see 0, you pause campaign, you should be having money left. Just wait until that scheduled end date, maybe give it a day or 2 for the system to catch up, and that's where you're going to see your credits there. So the next time that you create a campaign, it'll automatically deduct that. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Does anybody have any questions? No.
I just want to add that I see your guys' ads constantly, which is why I asked you guys to do this. I don't know if I even follow your page on Facebook, but I'm always seeing your stuff. So it is reaching people for sure.
Yeah, thanks. That's good. Hopefully not too much. But yeah, I mean, that's where, we look here at the dashboard. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money to be able to reach people. I mean, I come from a marketing background where we're spending millions of dollars for big top corporations. You don't have to have big corporation budgets. Sometimes we have campaigns that are $4 at a time, $10 at a time. You don't have to have massive spend, and you can still get some awareness. Even if someone doesn't click, like Erin said, you saw our ads. Hopefully, even if you're not looking to sell right now, by the time you do, you'll have seen our name enough that you might think of us, or the next time we reach out, you'll know who we are. So some of it's just brand recognition as well.
Phil put in the text box. Oh, sorry, my dogs are barking. He just said, any reason why you only use Facebook for ads?
As opposed to Twitter or Instagram? Oh, I didn't see that.
I assume so.
Okay. That's just part of my background. I do use Google as well. I don't use Google from command because, to be perfectly honest, it's not anywhere near as good as doing it through Google. Facebook and Google, what's great about doing it in Command is, well, it's one-stop shop. The rates, I can tell, are better in Facebook. They're able to reach people cheaper. In Google, though, you really do need to have a certain amount of targeting to be effective in your search ads, and you just don't have the same layers in Command. But I do use Google search as well, but I just find Facebook, it reaches over 90% of Atlantic Canadians. It's just a platform where you can reach the vast majority of people at a low cost. So that's why I kind of favor that.
Nicole, would you say that it can tend to be a bit of an age demographic thing as well? That more people would tend to have Facebook than they would Instagram, and there might be an age range on that?
Absolutely, for sure. Yeah, Instagram, last I saw was more towards 35% reach, so it's definitely a lot, and it has a younger skew for sure. So Facebook skews older, Instagram skews younger, and has a bit less reach. I tend to use them differently. In advertising, I kind of use both, but on like my actual Facebook page or my Instagram page for real estate, the Instagram is kind of more, you're promoting the lifestyle, promoting, the neighborhood more so. And then in Facebook, you're really kind of giving information to clients. So they're kind of, you're using them in two different capacities. Any other questions? Well, I would encourage people to look at the tutorial that Ashton Palmer did to learn about doing designs in Canva, the one that Renee did for KW Designs, and that's really going to be where you can start playing around with your creative, and that might give you some ideas of what you can do for your next Facebook campaign. And if you try it and you have any questions, you're not sure, you can give me a call, send me an email. I'll be happy to walk you through it personally.
This is great. Thank you, Nicole.
Awesome. Thank you, Nicole.
That was really good.
Excellent. My pleasure. Well, let me know if there's any other questions you guys have about marketing.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you very much.
My pleasure. Take care. Bye.